All right. Good people. Welcome, man. Thanks for tuning in to the latest episode of the Sim Standard Power Hour. Y'all know what we're talking about. There's no need to
Right.
have any mystery about it. Y'all know what we're talking about. We're going to give our early impressions on college football 25, NCAA 25, whatever we want to call it. And, well, you know what's funny? If it was NCAA, would it be called NCAA 15? Or did they go with the 25 moniker because, it kind of lines up with Madden and it's a new name now? It's college football versus NCAA. So I'm curious to know if they would have brought it back with the exact same name. I mean, that's just a fun thing to talk about, guys, before we dive in. I wonder if they would have called it NCAA 15.
What do you mean? If it continued, you mean if it continued on from 14 back then?
Yeah, I wonder if they still would have just said, well, we're just going to call it 25 because you know how they do the yearly thing. Or would the name still have been NCAA 25 versus NCAA 15 if they used the NCAA title? Probably not.
No, it would have been 25 because they went by the calendar, the calendar year and all that stuff, basically lining up. So, yeah.
So, yeah, guys, listen, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. College football 25, early impressions. Trying to figure out how I want to approach it. Smitty, I almost want to go into it talking about the things so far that we don't like. And the reason why I say that is because there's a whole lot about this game that I like. And whether some people want to say it's a lot or not, that's up to them. But what qualifies that statement for me is the stuff that I have wanted from a EA Sports game, the fun that I'm having with it so far, the depth that it provides me, things to do off the field in Dynasty. You got your career mode and Road to Glory, if that's your thing. Team builder is back. I mean, there's not a whole lot so far. Again, guys, I have probably hour-wise, I've probably spent 6-7 hours total so far. You guys have seen my 2 streams. And outside of that, I played 2 other games. And earlier today, I was just in practice mode a little bit. So I don't have any deep extended time with it, but I think that's probably where I'm going to start. Or where Smitty and I would start is maybe we'll talk about the things that we dislike, or maybe some things that we're seeing that we don't like versus what we do like, because I think there's going to be a lot that we're going to hit on in that regard. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do, man. What you think? Smitty, you want to approach it like that, or you rather get out the good first?
No, we can talk about the bad stuff, in the game. Because I mean, that's the stuff that we usually start off with. Typically we announce the good and then the bad. But I mean, the good outweighs the bad tremendously, at least at this point. I mean, you've played more than I have. Like, I've only played like a game and a half, and I've played some and I've done some practicing, you know what I mean? So I haven't done a whole heck of a lot. I'm just kind of getting a feel for the game in between working and stuff like that. So I haven't had a ton of time to really just swan dive into it yet. So I just play progressively as I'm able to.
Yeah, so I'll give you my couple things, man, and I will put some of you guys' comments on screen. As you see, I have one there. Shout outs to Big Gritter 210. He says that he hates the blocking right now. So Big Gritter, if you could do me a favor, if you could elaborate on what it is you dislike about it. May it be something somebody else shares the same opinion, or maybe something that one of us haven't seen. So when you guys are throwing out what you don't like, man, if y'all don't mind, if you can kind of elaborate something like that where we all can kind of say, oh, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying, or maybe people will disagree. Let's see. Although I do like presentation, I'm going to talk about the things that I dislike about presentation that is kind of a disappointment. I've talked about this on my stream this week. It seems as if the EA Sports people who, govern their football products, they don't seem to want to have any type of, post game, pre-game, or halftime show. I cannot remember, and I could be wrong. Like, guys, y'all help me out. I know Smitty will know. Smitty is the historian of this game and stuff. I can't remember the last time there was anything like that in an EA Sports football product. I mean, of course, those years with the Tony Bruno show kind of comes to mind. And at that time, it was just radio show. So I guess what I'm talking about is a 2K5-esque type of thing in terms of halftime and post game with Chris Berman and the replays and stuff like that. And then I would fast forward to whatever NBA Live that was, how NBA Live literally replicated ESPN, basketball on ESPN. If you guys remember that. Some of y'all didn't play the game, but Smitty and I did. The halftime show in NBA Live, even up to the most recent one, was, I think, Live 19. Incredible. Better than 2K. I mean, it mimicked what you would see on ESPN, usually Wednesday nights or Saturday nights sometimes. But you basketball heads know what I'm talking about. Even the music. They fully integrated and used the ESPN license, and they flushed out a halftime show in Live, which was nowhere near at the level of Madden at the time. I don't get it. So that would be one thing I dislike about college football with all of the great things it's doing with presentation. I definitely expected when they announced all these different people, all these different guys and, who would be in the game, I thought they would have some type of video representation, maybe for the studio update. Maybe some type of makeshift college game day if they're not going to use the actual one. Something better at halftime in terms of visual presentation. And again, some of you guys might say it doesn't matter, but it does, man. Like, presentation is a part of simulation. The way a game feels and looks and plays, it's the full immersion is what you're looking for. Even if some people are going to button through it, it's still cool to have that. So let's see. Is there anything else that I could think of right offhand that I dislike? There's other things, but I think I'm drawing a blank. So I talked about presentation, just that aspect. Oh, of course. Largely not being connected to Madden. Y'all already know how we feel about that. We've talked about that here on this show maybe a month or so ago, but I'll elaborate again really quick just to give you the condensed version. This was my dream of what I thought and I hope that college football would be. They over here taking 3 to 4 years to build the game. Secretly, what they're doing is building both college football and Madden together. That was my dream. And in this year, they was going to unveil Madden 25 and college football 25. And, they're sharing the same technology. We was over here building this together. And here goes Madden 25. And they were built together in terms of connectivity. This is what I mean. Imagine a game where we're playing college football right now, right? We start up at Dynasty. And when Madden comes out, you start up a franchise. You get a prompt that says, would you like to connect your careers? Y'all remember that term? Remember way back in Madden 13 or whatever that was when they CMM, whatever it was called, CCM, connected
careers.
That's what I was thinking. Mode. They could have done with this. You get the prompt and it says, would you like to connect your careers or connect your experiences? Yes. If you choose yes, Everything I do over here in my dynasty is represented in my franchise. So imagine playing Madden and you see the little news blurb and it's telling you that, oh, Shedeur Sanders threw for 4 touchdowns today. Oh, bad injury to such and such player. Oh, player gets in trouble. Oh, one player gets suspended. Like any type of news, anything, stats, everything that I'm doing over here shows up in Madden. So now the draft class doesn't have to quote unquote be imported. It's already, they're so connected. Boom. This player has decided to enter the draft. Once he does that, he's over here in Madden.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been beyond phenomenal. Any character issues with him, you know, how this person, his tendencies, speed, ratings, all of that stuff would have just come over and then it would build on the NFL side. That was my dream. Obviously, that didn't happen. So at least I'm thinking, oh, well, we'll be able to import draft classes. Nope. I understand why. If it's a legal thing, I'm going to say if it's a legal thing, okay, I get it, but it's still a miss because people had that in the past. So it's still, that's one thing that I would have to say I don't like. Trying to find one more thing, Smitty. I know it has to be something so far in my limited time with the game. Is there anything gameplay-wise that I'm not liking so far?
I'll say, like, in the secondary, they do have that tendency to not make the play on the ball, but they're in position to make the play on the ball. And it's like, and it's not an animation where they're out of position and don't catch it or whatever. It's like they're just genuinely like it's like they'll run to be near the position, but if they just took the angle, they'll make the play. Like they can make the play. Instead, they'll wait for them to catch it, and then they go tackle them. When it's like, dude, you could have broke on the ball and made a play. You could have picked it off. Whereas the CPU, you make that mistake, they break down on it like 99% of the time. They are breaking on it as they should. So that's one thing that I see happening. And I get it. I get the standpoint of not all of your players are going to be on point. So that's something that's going to happen. But I want to also see, it doesn't matter if he, like we made this point in the past, it shouldn't matter if a player is rated 60 overall or 90 overall. If he sees the ball, he fundamentally is in position. He does the football actions accordingly, and he's able to make a play. He should be able to go out and try and make a play on it. You know what I mean? Now, is he going to be consistent with it? Clearly no. But he still, in principle, should be able to still be effective.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's my point. Is that it's like it still has that tendency to somewhat try and force their ineffectiveness at times during the game. So that's something. But and the other thing too, and I'll just say this too, because Sim, when he was streaming it, and even when I was playing it, this was before title updates took place. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying though. Like I still, but I mean, we're talking about an issue that is of old in EA football games where they would have that tendency, and that's where I'll praise the Madden beta at this point, anyways. Yeah. I'll praise the Madden beta over NCAA. Well, college CF25. I'll say I'll praise it in that regard because Madden has truly improved upon that, where these guys are reacting a whole heck of a lot more. Unless they're out of position, they're making those plays, and I appreciate that. NCAA, they just got to tighten up that consistency of these players just driving down on that ball or driving in on the player to try and break up the pass via the catch or swat the ball down if they're able to. Now, they do it. Let me make this clear. They definitely are doing it in the game. They are doing it. But I'm still seeing various plays where they're just, where they're just covering grass. Well, not covering grass, but they're not making the proper move to try and get to the ball and knock it away. Like, that's the only thing I don't like. When I from my time playing the Madden beta, that really stuck out to me in a great way.
Yeah.
And then seeing it in this game here, in this college football, if they can tighten that up some way, somehow with an update, then they'll be good. They'll be in a real good spot.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a closer look at that. Can't say I noticed it so much, but what Smitty said is absolutely correct. In that Madden beta, man, they break on the ball. They see it, like, you'll see. I mean, if the Madden, what comes out is still what was in the beta, that's all I'll say for those of you who played it or didn't play it. And I'm still right now on the fence as far as which game has better gameplay, because I still feel like Boom Tech adds a little something extra. I can't put my finger on it, but it's and the funny thing is, though, Smitty, is when I play college, I'm like, but this game is physical too. It's tight. It's not so, say, like Madden 24's tackling got better, but it still was moments where guys would flail off and all of that. But college football right now, it has some of the characteristics that we saw in the Madden beta, where even when you hit a guy, he falls appropriately and stuff like that. But I do feel like the emphasis of physics-based tackling, you definitely saw it a little more. I don't. It's hard for me to say it's more in Madden, but I would say it was definitely predominant. Like, you could tell, like, oh, this is different from 24. So I can't wait to, and Smitty knows the secret. I haven't gone back to the secret since college football has been out, so I haven't been able to compare. But I won't say it out loud, but Smitty probably knows what I'm talking about. I haven't compared the two to really say, oh, let me play this and let me play that. Both of them got good gameplay. Okay. But I'll be curious to hear more about the interaction and physics and all of that that's in college football, because it's solid. King of the North says, disappointed in the play-by-play. Fowler and Reese Davis calls are bland and don't seem stitched together in a fluid and smooth manner. Their volume and tone don't match the play accurately. Now, I actually haven't heard them yet, because believe it or not, guys, I haven't even played just a random pick up and play game. I've only played my early Dynasty games, and I'm playing with Texas State, and we're not fortunate enough to get Fowler and Davis yet. So listening to Pollock, and I forget who the other guy is, they sound volume-wise sounds on point, I think. So I am curious to hear the difference. Let me see what else you guys are saying that y'all don't like. Is there anything else? I'm having real issues with the O-line blocking and tackling is bad. Okay, I've seen a few of you guys talk about the tackling. Let's tackle that one, Smitty. Pun intended.
No, tackling not bad.
I don't think it's bad either.
Nope.
I really don't. I think what's happening, guys, is I'm not calling nobody out or anything like that, so don't take it this way. I say this all the time, and you always hear me say it. I've been saying it for years. It's video game brain. Everybody wants everything to work when they do it. That's what it is. I'm just being honest, because I went into it looking for a massive amount of missed tackles where I felt like that should have been a tackle. That should have been a tackle. There's not a bunch of that. To me, it's playing out the way it's supposed to. You're going to see that in the beta too. In Madden, I haven't felt yet that the tackle was supposed to happen. I've made more tackles than I expected to make because I heard people. Shout outs to my man E-Ray. Before this game even came out, the people who went down there early, I heard them say, "Yeah, tackling is a little difficult." So I was anticipating it being worse. I'm cool with it. I've been able to make open field tackles. Now I will say this: you can't just go sprinting at a guy. You gotta properly choose your angle. Hey, use the strafe button if you have to. Hey, how about this? Don't go in there with the hit stick every time. Why don't you use a conservative tackle? Use the X, use square. Don't go in there with the always successful hit stick. I think that's what some people are used to. So, what's your thoughts on it, Smitty? I know you feel the same way.
Yeah. No, I had somebody who was in there doing the play test for both NCAA as well as for Madden, and was making that point. And this was before the Madden beta was going. But there's some people that live in Florida, they get that opportunity. They get to go down to the studio and all that. They get to go check it out. They do their local in-house play test. But he was saying there's going to be a lot of people getting upset. There's going to be a lot of fits being thrown because of the way the tackling is. It's like the tackling is not the same. It's more about the angles. It's more about your position relative to the hit that's laid. It's not. You're not just going to be able to just go out there and just rock out like that. And like how we all have been used to be, used to being able to do. Playing the game. Like I said, now I haven't played a ton of games. I've played some in practice mode. I've played like a game and a half so far. Just been busy with life stuff, work and all that. But the point is, when I played those games, I was more or less, especially when it came to the run game, defending the run, because I usually control the D-line, so I try to stop at the point of attack. I'm more not trying to get off the block so I could go for a tackle. I'm more positioning my body. I'm driving my blocker into trying to close a gap. So even if I don't get the tackle, I'm impeding his progress so my teammates have a chance to get him. Or I'll dive. When I dive, I'm not diving for the tackle. I'm diving to make him trip up or make him do a hurdle. So once again, he's slowed down a little bit and the teammate can get him. You see, that's because, I'm thinking of it like that. Like, okay, if you really don't have the surefire, I'm gonna be in position to lay that lumber on him. It ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? Now, I had some tackles where I got the D end or I got the D tackle and I'm able to just wrap them up and get them. Yeah, I've had a few of them. Yeah. I've had a few of them. Even Madden beta, I had a few of them too. But it's not a typical thing that's going to happen because of how the way the tackling system works in their game. The way the hits and everything, all of it matters differently. It's all factored in differently now. And I can appreciate it. I love it. That was one of the main things I loved about running in the Madden beta, was how you could break free if the momentum defensively is on one side and I got all this open field on the left, like if they coming on the right and I got all this open field to the left, if I just do the right moves, spin move, juke, whatever, I can break completely free from them. I'm not pulled into an animation. I can break completely free. They can hit me, and there's a difference because the angles, y'all.
It feels good too, buddy.
If the defender's not able to hit me, guess what he's gonna do? He's just gonna push.
And if he's pushing me, now he could give me that push, but his teammate can dive and mess around and take him out. And if I'm on the outside, guess what? I'm gone now because of what happened there. One guy running trying to get me, all he could do is shove me, or let's say a defender who's a D lineman who's engaged with the O lineman. If the position I'm coming around the corner or going around my blocker with is more favorable in terms of my blocker's leverage and position in comparison to where the defender is, the defender may not be able to do nothing except maybe grab a shoulder, so to speak, and I just have like a little shoulder shiver animation play out. And I'm cool with that because I'm like, that's legit because of what happened right there. And now I'm able to go upfield and somebody got to stop me or try to stop me. I love seeing that in Madden. I've seen people post clips of it on Twitter, looking at highlights and stuff like that. Like, you're seeing these organic looking plays happen more and more where the relative position, blocker, defender, ball carrier, all of them are tangibly relative. And now it's not perfect, obviously, but this is like dang near the cleanest I've seen it so far. And I'm loving the way that it's actually playing. Like, I remember I'm seeing people go in between the O and D linemen, interact and bust out of that and go into the open field. The animations, they just duck underneath it and go upfield. Man. I remember when I got clowned on about that back then. Madden 13, I got clowned on about commentating and saying, look at the interaction. You see how the bear is going between the blocker and the D lineman as they're engaged. And I got clowned on like, man, that don't happen. I'm like, but that's the point of having that in the game. When you introduce physics and things like that into the game, you create that possibility of those rare moments, those rare intricate moments that can happen in the game, but they're not typical. Like, what was my man's name that in the NFL? I can't remember his name, but he purposely did a somersault to clear the defender. He didn't get hit. The defender was right there at the end zone.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I can't remember my man's name, but he purposely did a front flip somersault to avoid him. He didn't juke, he didn't spin, he didn't stiff arm, he didn't truck. He did a somersault on purpose to clear him and landed in the end zone. And it's like, when's the next time you've seen that? I haven't seen it yet. But see, that's one of those rare moments that can happen in football. Yeah, Jerome Simpson. There it is. Thank you. But that's my point. It's a rare moment that can happen. And you're seeing these moments happen in these people's highlights. And it's like, yo, that's crazy seeing what they did. I'm like, yo, that, man, crazy plays that are happening. You know what I mean? Guys playing in the rain, fumble. What was it? They fumble the ball. Defender picks the ball up. They're running the ball and everything like that. They get hit. They fumble the ball. The original possessor gets the ball back, takes it all the way back to their end zone to get the score. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, all these unique things. And this is why I've said for the longest time, of those of y'all that have been rocking with us, I've always sat up here and said, Madden needs to get like FIFA and NHL because they have those moments that are extremely, like, they're unique, but they can happen though in the sport because of how the way the game is made. The game tells the story of what happens on the field. Instead of it being just these hard-coded, scripted, full-blown sequences, you got the real-time physics that plays a role in terms of taking away that governing sense away to a degree. And it's like you're seeing it more and more in this college football. And for those that played the Madden beta 25-bit, you're seeing it there too. So
Absolutely.
it's like I love this in the game. It feels great along with the running. You know what I'm saying? I love the running. I love the change of directions. I'm seeing people. I've seen people do jukes on Twitter, and the way they animate when they do the juke, I haven't even pulled off yet. You know what I'm saying? And I'm loving it. I love that diversification. That's what matters, man. And I love that, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Yes, the game has its flaws. Yes, it has its shortcomings and everything like that. Like what we're talking about. But if you think for 1 second, number one, get that reskin bull crap, you can miss me all the way. All the way.
Yeah.
I don't know what you just a bona fide hater. That's it. You just a hater. That's it. But to Sim's point that he had made, what game you gonna play? If NCAA is trash and people doing all that trying to act like it's the same, what game you gonna play?
People had some good ones on Twitter that they was replying to me about. I was cracking up. Somebody said Uno. Monopoly. I was like, what game don't have a flaw or a glitch? Like, it's again, man. This is why, guys, I'm just not in. You won't catch me debating nobody. Some people are just not gonna like any of these games. Because I'm telling you, there are people that I've seen that they say this about every game. Everyone. You know what's funny? I see my man Soft Drink is enjoying NCAA or college football 25. And that's what it should be about. It shouldn't be about, oh, this company, that company. Dog. I think to me, it'd be hard pressed for anybody of this community who's watching this show, who love video game football. I would find it hard to think that anybody can play in this game and say, nah, this joint trash. Come on, man. You might not like something about it. And like I said, over time, I think we've all increased our expectations. We have in 2024 that we all have. Let's just be honest. And it's getting to a point where I think that whole conversation of expecting perfection is coming back. I think people, like I said, it's video game mentality, man. I mean, we want it to be realistic, right? And I'm not sitting here saying that these games, none of these games are programmed to be absolutely realistic. But in the real world, we see how many, go watch your favorite team and how many tackles have they missed on Sunday? Steelers fans, where we at? Y'all know my man Y Diggy in here. How many times have you heard me in the post-game show going off about the missed tackles, blown coverage? Again, I'm not making an excuse for video game designers. I'm just saying these things happen in the real world. So you wanted it to be absolutely perfect in the video game world. You're just admitting that I just want absolutes. And absolutes don't happen in the real world. I personally think, and I don't know, I can say this about this game so far. I think there's too many successful interceptions. Without touching the slider, if they get their hands on it, they catch it. And I think it should be, if we're getting realistic, there's a whole lot of DBs in the league, NFL, that drop interceptions quite often. I think interceptions, and it might be, I'm going to have to highlight OG, and definitely I don't feel like it's been this way in Madden. I think interceptions should also be based off of your catching rating.
Yeah.
Now, Sim Gaming Network is in here, and I know he does a lot of testing. I don't think that's the case, because I think you can turn up the interception slider, and the dude with low catching is going to be picking them off. I think it should be based off of your hands rating. Maybe it is, or maybe they're just the setting, the sliders are just not balanced. But I think it's way too many interceptions. Now, for video game fun, cool. But if we're talking realistic, I still don't think that that's balanced well enough. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree.
But other than that, before we dive into the decent things, is there anything else so far? Again, me and Smitty are not so far into the game that where we could give a full analysis. But is there anything else that we could say we dislike? Outside of thinking it would be a little more presentation in terms of post-game, pre-game, halftime. Smitty talked a little bit about he would like to see the secondary be a little more aggressive and make a play on the ball. Thought there was one other thing. I don't know. Some of you guys are saying y'all don't like the blocking. I haven't had much problem with blocking. I haven't played on Heisman yet, though, to see how balanced it is over there. I've been playing on All-American. But I don't have much that I could say I don't like. Hold on, let's see. My man A Philly, what's he got? He says, yeah, if they don't see the ball, they don't catch it. Absolutely. That's how it should be on defense.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes. This reminded me, Sim Gaming Network, of one of the things that Smitty dislikes as well. We should be able to replay every single play. Still can't do that. I don't like that. I hate that in Madden. And it's the same way here. Why is it these selective plays? Because sometimes I want to go see this 9-yard run after the game just to kind of look. Like, it's so random. The highlights that you're able to see is so random. I don't like that. 2K right now in their basketball game, you can see every play. Smitty said it's other games, EA games, that even allow you to do it. Why is this not an option? But Sim Gaming Network is saying you can't view instant replay and hurry up. I did notice that on my stream, not last night, but I think the night before. There were plays that I wanted to go back and look at, but I couldn't because it was team I was playing was in hurry up or tempo or whatever. Let's see. Anything else? Don't know. I don't have a lot, guys, that I dislike. I'm just being honest. So far, it's not a lot. No, the game does not have competitive and or sim mode.
Which I love that.
Yeah, I love that. I really do. Even though we were advocates for the separation years ago, they didn't separate it the way we thought.
I will say this: I love that idea as long as they can stick to their guns.
Yeah,
development wise, as long as they're able to stick to their guns, I'm okay with it not being separated mode wise. But if they're not able to and it's not working right, nope. Go ahead and put in separate those modes accordingly. Put it in there. You know what I'm saying? So
I like this comment.
Yeah, Kyle.
Boy, and that you see, he put LOL at the end. Boy,
yeah.
Shador Sanders was under some. Oh man, I felt so bad for that kid last year. I hope they turned it around, man. Just because he can't go through another season like that. Let's see. Somebody else, Phoenix says, as a football gaming fan, I'm just happy with this foundation. And yeah, man, like this is a really good game. And it's to the point which Smitty used to make years ago. This game to me is to the point where now they can really just tack on all the bells and whistles and just refine what they have, because it's that type of foundation where you should be able to stack on top of this. Like the huge haul. I'm gonna say a funny phrase that we really got pissed off about in the gaming community, particularly the Madden community. It's gonna be a process, a 3-year process
Oh, 3 to 5 year plan.
3 to 5 year plan. You know how we used to always get mad at that?
Yeah.
Here's what's ironic. College football 25 is the 3-year plan.
Yeah.
It just happened that way. They've been working on the game about 3 years. Look at what they brought to the table. So now they should be able to stack on top of that and keep building, as opposed to the theory that we always wanted in the past. Man, Madden I'm tired of this slow progression. And by default, college football was able to do it. They were able to really just work. They were under no pressure, per se, to get it done. They even delayed coming out for a year. And look at this foundation.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If they just keep stacking, that's all they got to do. That's all they got to do, man. So, well, I guess we'll flip to the other side of things, man.
Yeah.
This game, to me, I'm seeing some really good things come out of this game, man. I love overall presentation. It's just the immersion of it. I didn't even really catch it so much until in my stream last night. You guys notice how dynamic the information is for the play calling screen? Like, things update there dynamically. It's a lot of I didn't catch it until last night. I kept looking. I said, oh, wait a minute. I mean, you throw the ball out there, one of your guys catch it, he get 15 yards. When you get back to the play call screen, it's going to say his name, 1 catch, 15 yards. It's dynamically updating. There's scenes where you'll see them compare the quarterbacks. I saw where they compared the running backs. I saw another scene where it compared the sacks for the teams, because my team just got a sack. Like, I was like, oh, this stuff is literally dynamically refreshing. That's immersion. All of the different things with the intros. And yeah, will they get repetitive as time goes on? I'm sure. But with so many different ones, it feels good every time I watch it so far. All of the different stadiums, things just feel different, looks different. The sound of the game, like just the overall audio. Love it. Like I said, the only issue I have right now with presentation is, man, with having all of this was the time for you to really, for us Dynasty heads, to give us some type of pregame, postgame, halftime. Come on, man. Like, this was, but again, it's cool. Halftime show ain't too bad. It's just not what we would want. Or at the very worst, Smitty, I thought the studio update would have flashed to Kevin Connors or something. Like, that should have been easy. You know what I mean? Like, think back to that year whenever they used to show Sims and Nance. You know, they could have did that, or they could have done like how NHL did that year where you had the broadcast team, like just something, just the little cheats to make us feel like it's alive. And they didn't do that. But revamp passing. Man, let me tell you something. As a huge fan of freeform passing, this revamp passing, bro, is it. Is it. It is it. It's phenomenal. Once you get the hang of it, where you can actually place the ball is crazy. And I love the fact that you're able to do it with just the left analog stick and the press of the button. No extra mechanic. As many years as y'all heard me talk about ball placement, remember we kept pushing, and then we got target passing. And Madden, remember how difficult it was to pull it off, which some of us could do it, but it was just too many button presses. Then here comes freeform passing. All you got to do is hold the trigger. Okay, a little better. I adapted to that very well, but what was missing from freeform passing was trajectories. you could place the ball, but you couldn't really get that arc or that trajectory that you wanted. Now, here comes revamp passing. Holy moly. Love it. I have nothing bad to say about it at this moment. I think the player interactions are good for the most part. I think the animations are animating pretty well for the most part. I love the way the run game feels. I love the responsiveness in the left stick. That might be a pause, so I'm gonna just say pause. Yeah, man, it's generally playing good football for me, man. I'm even noticing things like, have y'all noticed kind of the techniques on how the DBs are? I put up a video a little while ago at 8:30. I don't know if all of y'all saw it or not, but even kind of the way that they are getting themselves in position, even in their back pedal, like some of them are kind of, you physically see them using, a certain technique or using the boundary, or I'm like, oh, I even noticed too, Smitty, like even the contextual awareness seems better. Like they won't, at least in the plays that I've seen, they won't really jumble up. So even if it's like a stacked formation where you have two receivers stacked on top of the other, you're not really seeing the defenders get clipped off. They kind of wait, they kind of position themselves to where they can just kind of play you with their eyes, and then when they can get close to you, they don't just run and then create a natural pick. Watch the video I put up, y'all, and that's not a plug, but you'll see what I'm talking about if you watch that video. I love seeing stuff like that, man. Just the interactivity is it just feels more alive, more organic. The title of my video, as I said, gameplay breakdown, but the subtitle was, it feels like free-flowing player interactions. Not seeing too many instances that are forced. Shout outs to Shady Mike, man. I saw him tweet something earlier, and OG replied to it. He was like, yo, is it me, or am I seeing little to no suction at all? Like, I haven't really seen it. I don't, that's not me saying it's not there. I'm just saying if it's there, it's not. Even in some of the two-mans, some of these animations, I've gone back and looked at the replay, and I'm like, yo, it's really fluid. So that's what I got, man. I don't have a lot bad to say so far. Maybe next week, after I've played more and more games, I'm sure all of this stuff is gonna show itself. Like I did have one instance where I will say this. It does feel like sometimes they are still using the same principle of target blocking, meaning they have an assignment, and I think, and this is just me freestyling, I think that might be the reason also why they allow you now to see where they're going. So if they continue that way, you won't feel like it was a miss or a bug. Let me explain what I'm saying. I want to see a system that's so organic. Is it possible to create a blocking system where a guy has a target, okay, like pulling guard, my target is this linebacker. But what if somebody flashes in front of him? I want to see AI be able to recognize that and like, whoa, play is blowing up now. Like, I know I'm supposed to go there, but this D tackle just beat my center and he's right in front of me. I want to see them be able to react to the closest threat. And Smitty knows this as well as I do. Years ago when we used to go down for Madden, there was a targeting system. So they designed where you're going to block. At one time, they had changed it in Madden where the ball carrier's movement would dictate which way you could kind of dictate where they block based off of what direction you went in. So I would like to see video games evolve to a point. And again, I might be asking too much, but I would love to see them be able to have like, now branching animations are back. What if there was some sort of branching AI? And that's me, quote unquote, coining that phrase. where they could branch out of this is my assignment, but this guy comes across my face. Whoa, like now, oh, hit him. Free, clear the path by all means necessary. Don't just go to the safety because I told you to go to him. If any of these other dudes cross your face, I would like to see them block that. And that's not happening. In a couple games that I played, I had a kick return where no, it wasn't a kick return, it was a counter. And I mean, the hole was wide open, and my pulling guard was at the second level, just like that. And he just like full steam ahead. He was looking. I don't know who he was going to hit because he didn't hit the safety. He didn't hit the linebacker. He downfield by himself. And I'm like, what? So that's what I mean, man. I would love a on the fly type of AI to where if a threat is in your way, they're going to pick up the closest guy. Because for you guys who play football, y'all remember how that went, right? Yeah, we were supposed to go there, but coach said, yo, hit if anybody is in your face, hit them. Because last thing you want to do is let that guy go past you. So that's one thing that I've seen. I don't think there's enough of that. Outside of that, I don't know, Smitty. Somebody's asking us, how is the injury system? I will say that's another piece of presentation that they don't really have the cutscene. Madden has those same old traditional cutscenes when a guy's hurt. I haven't seen them in college football at all. They'll just show you that this guy's hurt. He goes down on one knee or whatever, but you don't see any other type of showing him walking off the field or on the sideline, stretching out, none of that. As far as how are the injuries, I haven't played it enough to notice anything groundbreaking. I mean, they're probably similar to what they've always been, but I'll keep an eye on that. Now, you just made me think about that. Now that there's wear and tear and there's different body parts, I will keep an eye on what is being injured, number one. Is there a visual representation of it if you look at the replay? Number two, and is it a more variety of injuries? So thank you for asking that, because now I will pay a little more attention to it. What else, man? I think that's all I got, Smitty. I mean, overall, I'm having a fantastic time with this game, bro.
The game is sound.
It's good. It's
a sound experience.
To me. So I'm gonna qualify that again. To me, this is me playing offline. I'm probably gonna play some lobby games here in a moment, just so I can see what it feels like out there. But this is my experience as a season mode type of guy, playing in Dynasty, playing against the CPU, playing a simulation style game. I'm not trying to cheat the game. I'm not trying to create metas. I'm just playing straight up football. From that aspect, I am enjoying this game so far.
Yeah. Yeah, no, likewise, man. I mean, there isn't anything really to stack on in addition, because everything that we said, we wanted the presentation suck.
Yeah.
Tons of people got excited about those intros. I get it; they're gonna get redundant at some point, but you appreciate, let me give you an example. Who would appreciate it? Now, if I were to take control of Michigan in my dynasty, I wouldn't care as much to see it. Excuse me. The reason why? Because I'm gonna win a lot with their program. A school like them or a Clemson or an Alabama or LSU, it'd be cool a few times. But a lot of stuff is going to get wore out because you're going to be used to winning all the time and getting the best recruits and things like that.
Yeah.
Now, look at what Sim got going on with his franchise. He's talking about scouting 1- and 2-star players.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's going to be a minute before he can appreciate the animations or the presentation that comes with
getting invited to a major bowl game. Well, not bowl game, excuse me. Well, yeah, you still got bowl week in there. But I'm saying though, or becoming one of those teams that make the tournament, for the national title. You know what I mean? Like you're not really getting that. So you're gonna appreciate the whole presentation that much more because it's something that you've worked and built your team up to get there. Now, of course, Sim could easily play a game or play the mode and start another Dynasty, sim it with a great team, and then just play them games so you can see and say, oh, okay, it looks cool. But see, it's different when you play through it all and then you actually get there. You get to appreciate it all. That's when you heard Sim get so excited and enthused with everything, scouting, playing the game, all of that, right? It's because of the overall package and that it's giving you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like Sim was talking about, the stick skills, the stick work, how the stick feels when you moving and everything like that, and no pause, play. Okay, play. We didn't play on that. It play, because that's exactly what we know what we're talking about. Play. So no, we talking about this game. But no, like what's happening in the game though, like love it. Like it's great to put people posting highlights again. Just doing analog stick, and I ain't talking about no crazy running all the way to the right, running all the way to the left, running all the way back, and then curling up and all. I ain't talking about doing all the silly stuff, but it's like it's cool to see people playing and they're like legit enjoying the game, and they're like, "Yo, look what I was able to pull off!" Like, "Oh snap, this is crazy!" Oh, that's my point. And people, you're going to appreciate it more and more and more. Like that's what like I was gonna do a dynasty with Georgia Tech because that was like something me and my best friend, got a whole backdrop about that. I could explain that when I stream. But I'm probably gonna take Eastern Michigan. I'm thinking about it, and that's gonna be a hard climb. A very hard climb. They suck. Okay, they're one of the worst schools in the game. You know what I mean? But the thing is, I don't want to take over. I don't want to take Western or Central Michigan because they're both 80 overalls. Or I think Central is. I think they're like a 79 or something like that, or 78. But still, like, I don't want to necessarily take a team between the three. Other Michigan schools. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to take Michigan State. Like, oh yeah, that'd be the obvious choice to just, go get Michigan State. Like, nah, I don't want to necessarily build with them because they're right there. You can turn them around quicker, so they're right there. I want to play with a team that I gotta go through the muck and the grime with and actually build, and that's where a team like Eastern, you got to do that. Now, I'm not saying you can't do that with Western or anything like that, but you can. But I'm just saying, though, like, that would be the more grueling challenge. And I'm for it. And see, the reason why this is the stuff I'm talking about. The reason why I love what NCAA is, why I wouldn't mind, doing a dynasty with NCAA. I mean, not NCAA, with Eastern Michigan, because everything the game gives us.
Yep.
We got a whole entire planet. We ain't got a neighborhood. We got a planet of stuff that you can visit and tap into and build. Think about building that coaching tree with that kind of school.
Oh my goodness.
Recruiting with that kind of school. You know what I mean? What if you could possibly get a 4-star recruit that slips through the cracks? Then you had what was it? It was like maybe 2 years ago or something, like 2 or 3 years ago. You had a player, one of the top basketball players in the nation, go to, what was it? Not Jackson State. I think Howard. And it's like, this dude, All-American, McDonald's All-American, got all the big scholarships for all the big schools in the that could put him on the pedestal to go to the NBA, and he decided to go to a black college.
Yep.
And that was like out of left field. Top prospect, one of the best in the nation. And he goes to a black college. So what if you can have something like that happen where you scout somebody or you try to reach and get that local guy? Let me see if I could try to pull him. I know he's way outside of my ballpark, but let me try. And if you do, and he's really that dude, there you go. You know what I'm saying? And now it may take a moment for that to happen, but just think if you pull it off. That'd be crazy. And the game gives you all the sandbox tools necessary in the Dynasty so you can actually try to get them. That's what I'm talking about. Then you got your gameplay and you got all that. So it's like you have a lot of things on the table that this game is offering us, from gameplay to off the field things. But Sim, just thought about it. They need to have mass substitutions needs to come.
Oh yes, that is
gotta
missing.
have mass substitutions.
What in the world? That is missing.
You can't not have that in the game.
Let me hit up OG right now about that.
this player system, the wear and tear in there, you gotta have that. You gotta have that, bro. That is a must. You said we in the honeymoon phase. I ain't gonna say that. I'm definitely not gonna say that. I'm definitely not in the honeymoon phase. You know what I'm saying?
All right. But here's the question. And I want to ask this question while that's a topic. And I'm not saying this specifically about whoever
right. Yeah.
Who is it? Just Hoops. This is a question that I do have largely for the community. What game is going to make you happy? Completely. Because, like I said, y'all, I think, and this is coming from Smitty and Sim. Think about that. The guys that y'all know of because we started Sim, standing with others at the time, but we carried the name on. We were so adamant about, it's got to be realistic, blah, 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 blah. But as technology has progressed, we started looking at it from, okay, if this game did it, it's possible. You heard Smitty talk earlier about the stuff FIFA would do with their free-flowing animations. Okay, it's possible. All right, I want this in Madden now. But as we continue to progress, it's like, I think we start expecting perfection. Like, think about it. There was a time where people said NBA 2K was the greatest simulation sports game. Then people said it about MLB The Show. But now there's a ton of people who completely hate the way those games play. Like, here's one of the things that I'll say about MLB that people crack me up about. There's people who literally are upset because of the pitch counts and all that ain't realistic. And I'm like, dog, now we really try to split hairs. So what I'm saying is, this is kind of directed to all of the people that are saying how bad college football is. And I'm like, I don't know what you guys are expecting. Because if you can't look at this game and at least see positivity in it, even if you don't completely like it, I don't know what to tell you, man. I really don't. I don't know what game you're ever going to be able to play. That's going to, I don't know. I just don't see it, man. I don't see it. I don't know, and again, like I said, this wasn't directed at Just Hoops, but it reminded me of that because, some of the stuff that I've seen on Twitter, and I'm like, dang, if you feel that way about this game, I don't know what game you are going to enjoy. But I digress, man. That's why I'm not in that crowd anymore. I do what was fun to me and what I enjoy to play, and I don't care about nobody else's opinion on the game. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. What I'm saying is, when I say I don't care, what someone else feels about the game won't make me play a game or not play a game because this person feels a certain way. I just get in my fishbowl and swim in it, man. I'm having a great time with this game.
Yep.
And I foresee me continuing to have a great time. And that's just how I feel.
And I'll say, just to piggyback off of that, once again, there is no game that everybody's going to be satisfied with.
No.
You got folk that were all aboard the Joe Montana 16 bandwagon back then, thinking that was going to be the game. You had, what was it called beforehand? This one was doing Sim Standard stuff as a collective. Gridiron Game Pack that was on was a Kickstarter or whatever. You had this collegiate football game that was supposed to be made by the guys that ran game on the whole community with that. You had you got, well, I won't even say Retro Bowl because Hobbles not going down that road with it, but that's a respectable effort and that's a good game in its own right. Then you got Maximum Football, and the state it's in now, and it's being made to be a legitimate competitor, but it's not going to be on that level though. And then you got this high school football game that's being made now by indie guys. That's
varsity,
varsity, yeah, and then shoot, I feel like I'm missing somebody else, but you get the point. Is that there's a lot of these games that people are making, whether they have been made before, like Maximum Football in the past. You got, Axis Football, all that depth that it has, but the gameplay is not hitting. And it's like none of these games are going to be hitting like that. So it's like none of them, and they're definitely not hitting until somebody comes in and says we're gonna smack folk in the mouth with it. It's not coming. They're not coming out like that. And so now you could fake the funk and act like, yo, look what they're doing. Or you could be honest with yourself and just be like, listen, I just don't like EA. I'd rather play this.
Yeah,
that's literally all you gotta say.
Nobody gonna be mad.
Ain't nobody gonna give a care about that. Yeah, that's all you gotta do. So it's like I don't get all the trying to, folk up here gaslighting these other companies like they actually doing something like that, knowing that it's not there yet. And it's like, don't do that. Just be genuine with it. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Sim and I both have said it. And this one game is exactly why we make this point. Undisputed Boxing.
Beautiful.
The update, everything they've done in that game. And I'm still waiting for when they launch the game and put out that new update. So then the physics are different. All of that is different. They just did a whole entire AI update and got a video to compliment it in terms of them going over what they updated in the game. But the point is, if they were sitting up here talking about basically how you haven't had a game since Fight Night, pretty much, and they weren't doing it. I mean, remember the very first video they had showcasing Gotti and whoever else it was in the video back then? They weren't going at EA. They were just like, this is something new, and we're working at it. But then to see how the community rallied up on this game, along with how they developed it, dude, if you're going to come, and that's why the community got behind it so tough, because it's like, you see how that game looks? Whoa. Okay, now if this is going to be a game coming out, I got to see this. I got to get in on this.
That's what I'm talking about. If it ain't hitting like that, don't even try to put these indie games in the same bracket because it's not the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's never going to be, it's not going to be played like that or portrayed like that. No matter how much you like it or don't like it, it's just not going to be the same. Period. So, but go ahead, Sim. What you got queued up here.
Yeah, I just want to show y'all this, and it's kind of delayed because I'm actually playing it on this monitor. I have my PC connected to this monitor, and also I have 4K utility for the PlayStation running. So it's like a half second off. But this is what I was saying about free-flowing animation. What I like about this, right? This guy goes, he makes his block, loses him, and he's going to chase him. No suction. And I'm seeing so much of this where they're not forcing the interaction. Now, 4 games in, can I honestly say it doesn't exist? No. But I'm seeing so many interactions like this. And I'm like, it's clean, man. It's clean. You don't even really see a real, like it's a minor little look. It's so it's so minute to where it's almost not even there. And then we've seen past Maddens or past EA games where they're gonna whip him right back into that block. But no, he's not in position. He has to chase. And then you always love seeing stuff like this, the big boy. And the reason why I'm playing with these teams is just in practice. A lot of times I'll come in practice and I'll just do random teams just so I can see different teams. Look at this. Gets out. Bang.
Boom.
Love it. Now, this to me doesn't qualify as one of those situations of, well, why didn't he block this guy? I'm cool with him going this direction in this case. But bam, puts him down on his keister. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it.
Yeah,
if I
man.
see something else, I'll bring it back on screen. But yeah, that's all I'm saying, man. It's like I am enjoying myself so far, man. If things start perking up that just don't look right, I'm gonna make videos about them. Y'all know that. And that's it. I'm not gonna allow anybody to take my joy away. Because like I said, we have been waiting for a long time to play a modern day EA Sports title football game that had all of the depth and solid gameplay that this game is presenting. It's been a long time. And one of my biggest disappointments so far is the fact that as much as I have enjoyed and quiet as kept enjoying that Madden 25 beta, my biggest disappointment is the depth ain't there. I'm a franchise dude. It ain't there. Like Sim Gaming Network said, man, there's too much stuff that's the exact same. And it's too many stuff that it's too many things that could be expanded on. It is just what they gonna add this year? Oh, it's supposed to be a bunch of new scenarios. Okay, cool. Right. But everything else is the same. The way you train, the way you assign, it's all the same. Especially if you were like me later in the Madden cycle and you were playing the modded version and how they had that whole separate franchise tool on PC. What about XP and all that stuff going to excite you in Madden? Hey,
exactly. Yeah.
I'm calling it now. I don't know if they're gonna change it, but based off the gameplay in the beta, that gameplay is too good to be the same old
Oh
in
yeah,
franchise.
yeah,
Because it
no doubt.
is I enjoyed the beta. I'm telling y'all that the beta was sound, very, for a Madden game. I mean, it was good, but I think I'm gonna be over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do they have live weather? Who, Madden or college? And define live weather. Do you mean
That'd be crazy if they did.
Yeah, give me your definition of that, because I know some people, when they ask that, they're talking about the old school back in the day when we used to have the Weather Channel thing and it would show, whatever was happening, I guess.
No, that's
in
just
the real
live
world.
weather. That's like, it's like when you have the weather mixed up when it's dynamic, like having dynamic weather is when it can be sunny. You could start the game and it could be sunny, and then all of a sudden it could just turn rainy all of a sudden.
Yeah, I don't
The
know.
sky can change and turn rainy.
I don't think that's a thing in this game. I haven't seen it myself, but I don't think so. Could be, but I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Should be though. I mean, like combine the two things, like we're saying, like real weather. It should be some situations where throughout your season, hey, there's a chance of rain in this game, and first half it's sunny. The next thing you know, as you approach halftime, it's clouds get dark, overcast come through.
Mm-hmm.
It should be like that.
Yeah.
But I can't say it is. I don't think I've noticed anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, wait a minute. What about from your stream? You were talking about how you wasn't sure if it was raining or not.
Yeah, and people said, they told me that it was raining. I just didn't remember it, but for some reason I didn't notice it in the beginning, so I might have to go back and watch that stream and to confirm. But when I asked that question, people was like, "Yeah, I think the game started with rain," but I don't remember it. I don't remember it being rainy in the beginning of the game, but maybe it was.
Right.
Maybe it was.
Okay.
Why Diggy says it's not in the game, but that is a feature that should be, especially in northern cities. Yeah, man, it should. It definitely should be. It definitely should be. See, so stuff like that, man. And thanks for the donation, Willie Teague. He says, "I love my college football game." Those things absolutely should be in the game, right? And I know some people are going to say, I mean, they had 3 years. They should have put everything. That's not always true either, right? I'm not going to hold for the game that they delivered, being able to recapture NCAA 14 and take it to another level. I'm cool with that foundation coming in. Now, I would like to see these things that you guys speak of going forward, because personally, as I sit here today, I think college football is in a better state than Madden to build upon, only because it has the depth, and even with the foundation of the gameplay and everything, like there's not a whole lot that now we need, and emphasis on need gameplay wise. Now I think this game is already at a point of, okay, I want this. Now that old famous thing that I talked about years ago, now Smitty, I want to see some jersey pulls come in at some point. Because I think this game is at a level where, okay, we can add that little sprinkle.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, but the foundation is there. This game is like that so far. It's like that, and that's how I feel.
Yeah.
He says, how do y'all feel about what they're doing with team builder? I need to watch E-Ray's video or read the doc, because also I noticed something. Let me show this to y'all. I'm gonna make y'all laugh real quick, because hold on, let me find it. EA is wild for this. I'm gonna show y'all a name that they have in here for a team that I was like, what? But furthermore, I can't figure out how to download one of these teams. The button is not working for me. Oh, where is it? Did they move the team? Did somebody delete it? Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna find it. I don't even want to say it. I just want y'all to see the name of the team. It's hilarious. But yeah, if any of you guys have played or gone to the site already, how do you download a team? Don't seem to be working out for me. Oh, I think they moved. I think somebody got rid of it. I don't see it no more. Hold on. Can I go to? Oh, wait. I can view more. Oh, come on. The site seems a little buggy right now. Seems a little bit buggy. Hold on. Yeah, if it don't come up, I'm gonna just tell y'all what it was. Let me look one more time. Da, 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 da. I don't see it. Somebody might have took it down. But it was a it was a team on there for Washington, and it was the Washington Caucasians. I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, wow.
Maybe I just got a sense of humor, but I was like, wait a minute, that can't be a default team. Did somebody create that team?
Yeah,
it was hilarious. And they had the guy's face there. Oh man, I was cracking up. But anyway, let me show y'all this real quick. I can't figure out how to download. Hold on, let me switch this up. I can't figure out how to download the team. Or either it's just not working. Because speaking of team builder, guys, I might have to either run 2 dynasties or I kind of want to play with one of these team builder teams because it's going to be the same challenge. Because that's what I wanted to do anyway, but EA was late on releasing this, so I went ahead and started my dynasty. But let me show you. If I go here, I said, hey, I see somebody had put the Richmond Spiders in there. You know, University of Richmond. So I was like, well, how do you download it? I don't have an option to download that. Looks like there's a little arrow there, but nothing is not working.
Right.
Now I can preview it. And you'll see what happens when you preview it. Right? Shows you everything. You can preview the fill, but there is no option to download.
Yeah.
So am I missing something? Let me see what y'all got. It sucks. Team Builder isn't available. What? You said it's not available offline? That don't sound right. Keith Turner says Team Builder isn't available offline. I don't see how they would make it only online. Are you saying that correctly? Okay. While Diggy is saying he was trying to create a team, and yeah, so it might just be bugged out, man. Wait, I'm confused by. Let me stop sharing. I'm confused by what Keith Turner is saying. Is that in the blog? He says you can't play it offline. So you're telling me that you can only use Team Builder teams online? That don't sound right.
No, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't add up. You should be.
That don't sound right at all.
Yeah. No, let's see about that one first.
Yeah.
But no. Yeah.
Okay, maybe there's something going on there. It says you have to download the teams in the actual game. Oh, gotcha. Duh. All right, appreciate that, Kerm's Corner in the download center. Okay, now that makes sense. Because I thought you would be able to download it on the site and be able to edit the team. So, but I guess not. Okay. But yeah, that makes sense if they had it to set up to where you have to do it in game. Makes sense. I just thought because it was a site there that you would have more customability. Like maybe I could download Smitty's team, but then I can make adjustments if I wanted to. So that's maybe you can do that in the game. I don't know. But yeah, that's all I got, guys. I don't have anything else left tonight. Like I said, man, early impressions. I'm enjoying this game. I'm having a good time with it. You will see much more of it. I may stream it later tonight. Can't promise that, but y'all will definitely hear from me soon. And stay tuned. I kind of want to run with a team, build a team, man, but maybe I'll just run two. I might just run two dynasties, and because some people seem to be attached already to Texas State, even though I've only shown y'all 2 games or 3 games live. But I don't know. We'll see. Well, that's all I got. You got anything else, Smitty, before we roll?
No, that's it, man. That's it. Show was solid. We definitely will have more come next week. You know what I mean? To really, we would have had a lot more time and definitely played a lot more games and things like that to really, get a good feel of how the game is, how the game plays and such. Yeah. Who knows? There might even be an update or something like that would have took place by then. It just depends upon how the community really is, about the game. So, yep. But no, that's about it, man. That's it.
All right, folks. That's all, folks. We are done. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Happy gaming. Get excited for some of y'all who will be playing it in less than 2 hours. It's a good one, but come next week, come let us know what you hate, what you like. Give the feedback. That's about all we can do. But all right, man, y'all be easy. Be safe. God bless. Good night. And like always, we thank y'all for tuning in. Peace. All righty.
All right.